So welcome to our week 2 of our stream. This is our real estate stream. I'm Cash from Home Life Geo and Realty.
Hi, it's Asim from Remax Ace.
And I just want to wish everyone a happy holidays. And obviously Christmas is coming up. It's a bit of a slow time in the year for everyone now, just to kind of unwind and take a few days breather before the new year starts. So this stream is going to be not too long. We wanted to touch this week upon a few different topics and then really end it from there. So our last stream last week, we discussed the new mortgage rules that have now come out as of December 15th. And we also wanted to talk about a little bit of the buying process, because obviously the market has slowed down quite a lot and it is a buyer's market, and we are getting interest from people that want to look into purchasing. Maybe there's some good deal in the market, whether it's in the resale or the pre-construction. So we'll get into a little bit of that process for the first-time home buyer, and we can touch more upon that in the following week. And we want to really have more engagement on this stream. It's just our second week, but our goal is eventually to have more people tune in, watch us, ask us questions. And our numbers are here. So if anyone wants to call in during the live stream, we can put you on speaker, we can take your questions, and we can answer to the best of our ability. We're going to start following up from our last week stream, discussing about the new mortgage rules, the two new regulations that have come out. So Asim, can you please touch upon what are the new rules?
So the last week we discussed about the new mortgage rules. Again, I'll repeat. Price cap has changed from $1 million to $1.5 million. Similarly, amortization from 25 to 30 years. People will be able to afford house better than before. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And today we are going to talk about the process of buying home for the first time. So Cash is going to tell us about the process. So Cash.
So the first time home buyer process, do you want to touch a little bit more upon the rules, or is that it? Anything?
I think if people have questions, we can go in more detail.
They can ask us, right?
We discussed last week in detail,
Sure.
And if someone has any question, we can go in more depth, in more detail.
Sounds good. Yeah, but they're as of right now, the rules are in place. So
yeah, the rules are in place. Okay. And today our client got 30-year amortization.
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually have a client that went for the 25-year amortization, and then they were able to restructure their deal because his closing was on today. Actually, they extended to the 20th now, but so they were able to rearrange it to go from 25 to 30 years. So it's officially in place, which is amazing for the first-time home buyers. They're two great incentives.
And we would like to congratulate Ali for doing that.
Yes, exactly. Congratulations to Ali and his wife. So we'll touch upon a little bit of the first-time home buyer process. And, this also applies to people that have bought before. If someone is looking to, say, upgrade their house, this doesn't only just apply to the first-time home buyers, but we want to really go in detail on the first-time home buyers, because they are the ones that really need to be educated on how this whole process works. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Give me 1 second here, guys. So the most important thing, when someone calls us and says, hey, you know what, I haven't purchased a property before, I want to get into the market, I want to understand what are my options. The first thing that we like to really understand is their budget. It really comes down to their budget. What is the current capital that they currently have? And first of all, sometimes clients will call us and they'll say, you know what, we want to book a pre-construction house. But first of all, we have to see if pre-construction is really a fit for them based on their current situation. So the first thing really is the budget, right? We need to really understand, and that's a hard question to ask someone. A lot of times people don't even, really know their financial situation, but it's really the most important question. What is that budget? And, what is the current capital that they currently have at this present time? And also, if they're going to be getting an inflow of cash in the coming months, how much are they planning to receive? Because if you're booking a pre-construction, normally how it works is that if you're buying a detached or a condo, you put down anywhere from 5 to 10 to 15%, maybe over a period of 1 year. Normally with the low rise, it's about 6 to 12 months. You'll put down 10% of the purchase price. You'll pay an amount to book the unit, and then after 3, 4, 5, 6 months, you'll pay increments to equal, say, 10%. With a condo, we have some plans right now where you're paying 10% over maybe 2 or 3 years. So it's more spread out. So, with resale, it's a little bit different. Obviously, with resale, now if you're a first-time home buyer, you may be eligible for 5% down, you may be eligible for 10% down, but any property that you're booking over $1 million, you have to put down a minimum of 20%. So if you're looking to get a resale property as a first-time home buyer and you're looking to book a property that's over $1 million, minimum you have to put down is 20%. So that's a lot of capital, to put down right all at once. Normally it's 5% to book when you put an offer on a property, it's 5% as a down payment, or that's held in trust, and then the remaining 20% over $1 million would be paid on closing. In resale, closing is 3 to 4 months from the time the acceptance of the offer. So from the time the offer is accepted, at best 3 to 4 months is normally how long you have to close that property and come up with the full down payment. With pre-construction, you can book a property over $1 million, but standard is you put down 10%, and that's maybe over 6 months to a year. So we have to really assess the client situation in terms of how much capital they currently have, how much they're going to be receiving in the near future, and then and based on that, we can kind of see which way is a better fit for them. And obviously, we leave it to the mortgage team to look into, what their incomes are, what their ratios are that they can qualify for a mortgage. So that also plays into effect when it comes to their budget. The second thing, based on this, we can determine whether the client can afford a pre-construction house or they can afford a resale house. Awesome. If I'm saying anything that doesn't make sense,
yes,
please correct me.
You're right. Absolutely on spot.
Yeah. And then thirdly, say in a hypothetical scenario, the client can afford either a pre-construction or a resale. Then it comes down to their ideal scenario, right? Are they looking to move into a property right now, or are they looking to just put some money down and mentally, maybe after 2 or 3 years, if they move in, it gives them some time to mentally be ready, maybe financially to be a little bit more ready, because obviously, aside from the down payment, you have to pay closing costs, you have to pay lawyer fees, land transfer tax. There's a lot of other miscellaneous expenses that come upon closing. So maybe, if they can afford both options, but they want to be a little bit be mentally more ready, then maybe a pre-construction is a better fit for them. Some clients, they don't want to live in a property that's been lived in before. Maybe, they don't like the fact that a family or another people have lived in that property. They prefer to live in a brand new property. They prefer to choose their own finishes. They don't want to just be stuck with the finishes in that property and the upgrades in that property. They like to just get everything brand new from the builder. So at that point, we can determine, what are the client's preferences? Are they more inclined towards geared towards going for a pre-construction, or are they more geared towards going for a resale? So again, first-time home buyers, pre-construction. Yeah, so general questions that we'll ask the client is, if they are looking for a preferred for a pre-construction, then it comes down to a few things, right? Okay, what location are you looking to be in? Like I mentioned, me and Asim, we work very heavily in the Oakville market. We also specialize in Milton, Burlington, Mississauga. We work all over the GTA, but we're more geared on the west side of the GTA. So, a lot of clients that reach out to us, they automatically tell us that, yeah, we're looking to be in Oakville because we're running a lot of campaigns for Oakville. But, sometimes clients are like, what, I'm open to Milton, I'm open to Burlington, I'm open to Hamilton. So, location is one, the features of the home. So what are the clients looking for? Are they looking for a 4-bedroom? Are they looking for a 5-bedroom? Are they looking to have a study on the main level? These type of, features in terms of the layout of the house. Then some clients, they might be looking for a bigger lot. Some clients might say that, oh, we're looking to have a pool in our backyard. We're looking to have we're looking to build a big deck in our backyard. So, then they might have to go for a bigger lot, because the standard lot size in Oakville, at least right now, is 38 feet at the front by 90 feet depth. And that's not big enough to put a pool, because you're probably going to have about 20 feet from the end of your house to your property line. You're probably going to have about 20 to 25 feet of actual backyard depth. and that's going to be a little bit tight to put a pool. So then we have to look into bigger lot sizes. Closing date. Are the clients looking to close the property sooner, maybe within 6 to 8 months? They want to move into a property, or they need to move in for whatever scenario. Or are they ideally looking for a later closing date, maybe something in 2025 or 2026? The deposit structure. Every developer has different deposit structures. So when you're booking your pre-construction, some developers, they might offer you, 10% that you have to give them within 6 months. Other developers, they might give you a year to make that 10% deposit. Right now, because the market is slow, some developers are open to negotiation on pushing that even further. So it really depends on the builder. Every developer is different, but generally the standard is anywhere from 6 to 10 months. That is the deposit plan. But based on the client, they might be looking for some specific deposit structure that better, suits their financial situation. And then obviously, some clients look for a specific builder. They've heard good things about one builder. Maybe they've heard bad things about another builder. We work with a lot of builders. We can guide accordingly based on our experience. What are the better builders to go with in terms of their craftsmanship, in terms of their customer service? So, that's really important. And a lot of times clients already tell us, we heard bad things about this builder, or we've purchased from this builder in the past. We don't want to go with this builder. We want to go with this specific builder. So that's something that we can always, look into, and based on what developers they're interested in, we can see what projects are ongoing. So this is kind of a summary of, if someone is looking to book a pre-construction, if it's a first-time home buyer. In that scenario, if you're a first-time home buyer, maybe you haven't bought up from a builder, but your family has told you that, these builders are not good builders, and you're being advised accordingly to, not go with that builder. So yeah, that's kind of the process for pre-construction. And then looking into resale. So, generally there are some similarities with the resale market. Resale obviously is a property that's an older property. Maybe someone has booked it. Someone purchased it 6-7 years ago. It was built, 3 years later, and someone's been living in that property for like the last 5 years. It could also be a scenario where the property is 10 or 15 or 20 years old. But generally resale tends to trade at a lower price than the pre-construction. We'll discuss that more after I go over this PowerPoint. But, same things. If someone is going to be geared towards a resale, a first-time home buyer, then we're going to look into the preferred location, the features of the home, the lot size, the age of the home. So some first-time home buyers, they might say, we're open going for a property that's older, but we don't want it to be older than 10 years old. So these are all, factors that we would consider. And then, the closing costs, like I mentioned, for resale, your time frame is normally 3 to 4 months from the time that, we put in an offer and it's accepted. Maybe 4 to 5 months is the longest gap that the sellers would be willing to give us. So then they need to know that, okay, 5 months from now, they need to come up with closing costs. We'll try to discuss the closing costs on this stream. It might be a bit much, so maybe we'll touch upon that in the following week. But like I said, land transfer tax, lawyer fees, mortgage fees, these are all going to be due upon that closing date. Generally, resale in the short term, more capital is normally required versus booking a pre-construction because you're closing the property sooner. Again, it all depends on what type of property you're booking, but generally, if it's over $1 million, you're going to have to pay more front in a shorter time frame. So yes, you might get the property at a lower price point than a pre-construction, but you're going to have to pay more capital up front. And like I said, closing costs, lawyer fees, broker fees, those are all within 3 to 4 months. So Asim, in your opinion, I just kind of gave 2 scenarios, but where do you think the clients have more value in this time, the resale or the pre-construction?
Nowadays, we see better opportunities in resale.
Okay.
Prices are much better as compared to the pre-construction.
Okay. And
so
why would you? Prices are better. Okay.
Prices are better because the market is still kind of slow.
Yeah.
And the prices are not going up.
Right.
So we have better opportunities in resale as compared to the pre-con because let's just say someone is looking to buy a pre-con right now in a specific location. So they have I'll give an example in the Mississauga area. Mm-hmm. The semi-detached property, we can get something around $1.1 million or maybe $1.2 million.
Okay.
But the pre-con, let's just say we have to book. First of all, we don't have inventory in this particular area. Even though we have inventory, it's
They're not building in Mississauga.
Yeah,
for low rise at least, right?
Yeah. The price will be around 1.4 or $1.5 million.
Right.
So that's how much the difference is.
Right.
In terms of the pricing. Of course, the resale, the properties are older.
Yeah.
But the prices are still affordable.
Yeah.
As compared to the pre-con. Pre-con, the benefit is client has to pay, buyer has to pay like in installments.
Right.
And they can manage the finances accordingly.
Right.
So that's how I see the market right now. We have better opportunities in resale, and as I mentioned in the last.
But again, it depends on the client situation too. Like hypothetically, if a client has 10% capital right now, or they can pay at least within a year, but the property they want to book is over $1 million, and they don't have 20% right now, then they can book a resale, right?
Yeah, provided if they know their finances, they're sure that money is coming from somewhere, and they will be able to manage that. And again, with the new rules, still they can buy something around 10% down, provided they qualify.
Right. Up to 1.5 million, they can buy with less than 20% down.
Yes.
As of now.
Yes, I think up to $1.5 million, 8.33%.
Yeah.
They can buy. Again, provided they qualify.
They qualify.
And they have to check the qualification through a mortgage broker or through the bank and get the pre-approval.
Yeah.
And decide what they are looking to get into.
Right.
Right. So again, we have the team of the mortgage brokers. We can introduce you to those people.
Yeah.
Our team.
Yeah.
But still, and as I said, as you said before, that they have to know their finances before getting into anything.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that is my discussion normally when I speak with people that are calling us, inquiring, is that they don't really understand the whole situation, right? I mentioned that in the last stream. They'll say, our budget is $1 million, but they're not giving, like when I ask them more questions, they don't really give the justification of why it's $1 million. Is it because you've gotten a pre-approval from the bank where they're telling you that this is what you can afford on a monthly basis? And sometimes in the scenarios they are educated, they have that financial education, but in some scenarios they're just throwing a number out there. So that's why I think it's our job. Of course, they need to have a mortgage agent involved to help them understand their financial situation, but it's definitely also our job to kind of dive into it and understand what is their actual budget.
Cash, I have noticed sometimes the clients are reluctant to share their personal information with the people.
Right.
But I'll clarify that their information is safe with us. We are licensed real estate agents.
Yeah.
And we have, they are covered in case the information, any breach of information, they can come after us.
Of course.
So so they can tell us their situation and we can analyze and give them the advice accordingly.
Right. Right, that makes sense. So right now, like I mentioned that resale normally does trade at a lower price point than the pre-construction. I know right now builders are offering pretty good deals. We have a client today that is putting an offer on a property, pre-construction property, and he's asking for $100,000 less than what the builder is looking to get. But do you feel like the resale does trade at a lower price point than the pre-construction?
Yes, for now. And the market changes time to time.
Right.
Right now, the resales are much better as compared to the pre-con.
Right.
They're better deals, but again, the client has to go and get the mortgage. And affordability is an issue as well. The inflation is an issue as well.
Right.
So that's the reason. This is one of the reasons the market is kind of slow.
Yeah.
So affordability is influencing the people's decision to buy the homes, right?
But would you say that, because obviously as realtors, people might get the impression that we're always trying to pump the market. We're always trying to say that it's the time to buy, it's the time to buy. I personally feel right now it's not the time to sell. If I'm a seller and I don't have to sell, I don't think right now is the greatest time to sell. You might disagree with me. But if I'm a seller and I have no choice but to sell my property, wouldn't you say that right now there's a good chance that, especially if you're a first-time home buyer, that you can get into the market maybe at a little bit of a discount from what the houses were trading at 1-2 years back?
Yes. So it is, I agree with you, it is the buyer's market, it is not the seller's market.
Yeah.
But let's just say people have to sell and buy at the same time.
Right.
Like let's just say they're upgrading, then this situation will be like it will not impact that much.
Right.
So it depends.
Are you saying because they would buy at a lower price, but then they might also sell at a lower price, or it balances out, right?
Yeah, that balances out,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So again, it is the buyer's market.
Yeah.
It will stay, I don't know for how long.
Yeah.
And if for the first-time home buyers, it is the time to get into the market.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just I'm the realtor and trying to sell.
Yeah.
But that's how it is.
Yeah.
If it will be the seller's market, I'll go after the sellers and tell them this
Right.
is the seller's market. You
Yeah.
should be selling the house.
Right.
And it varies from people to people, right?
Right.
What is their situation?
Right.
If they are like investors and looking to
Mhm.
make money,
Yeah.
it's not, of course, the seller's market.
So if hypothetically, say I'm a first-time home buyer, and everything that you're saying to me, you know what, there's some good options, good opportunities out there in the market. Maybe I should get into the market. Where would you direct them towards? Say they have a budget of $1 million, right? And it's going to depend on the client. Again, it's the client situation. Maybe clients are working in Toronto and they can't be in Niagara Falls. If they have to be in their office, it's a 2-hour drive. Maybe that's far for them. So it is like every scenario is not just a black and white, right? But let's just say hypothetically the client can work from home. He's a first-time home buyer. He has a hybrid job. Maybe he needs to go to the office once or twice a week. And he wants to get into the market. He has some capital saved up. Again, depending on how much capital, but let's say that he can work with a budget of $1 million. Which market do you think you would offer him? Like, which market would you advise him that, you can get a good property for $1 million? This is for end use. Of course it works as an investment too, but end use, they're going to live in it. Which market do you think you see a lot of potential?
I have noticed the opportunities are in Hamilton areas
Hamilton?
and Oshawa.
Okay.
Oshawa, something around 800 they can get with the separate entrance and the finished basement.
Townhouse.
Detached properties.
In 800s.
Yeah, 800s, and they can live on the upper portion and rent the basement,
Okay.
and they can generate the income from the basement as well, and it will be helping them in their affordability.
Right.
So there are opportunities when it comes to resale.
Okay. So
And let's just say for the investors,
Right.
they are getting the positive cash flow out of such properties.
Right.
So the age is a factor as well. It will be
Yeah.
around 20 to 30 years old.
Yeah.
In the good shape though, I have seen such properties.
Right.
Like we helped our clients in buying such properties already.
Yes, correct.
And
In
he's
Hamilton.
getting the positive cash flow out of
Yeah.
that property.
Yep.
So there are so many properties which are in the market.
Yeah. So if the first-time home buyer has an option to purchase a property, if they're comfortable with another tenant being in the house, because sometimes they don't want other people in the house, but say if they're a first-time home buyer and they want to lessen their burden of their carrying costs on a monthly basis, then an option where they can at least rent out a portion of the house, whether it's the basement or whether it's a room, or you think that that's a good option if they're open to that, right?
Of course,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
Makes
the
sense.
case. But
Yeah.
you know the pre-con market better than me. What is the area where we're getting the good pre-con deals right now?
In Oakville is a very expensive market. It's super expensive. If you're looking to book a brand new single car garage detached home in Oakville, it's 1.5 million, which is crazy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. I mean, 1.5 million for a single car garage detached house, it's a lot of money. If you're looking to book a 2-car garage detached house in Oakville, it's starting at 1.9. The cheapest builder would be Mattamy Homes in terms of price. Unfortunately, people feel they're also the cheapest in terms of the quality. We have a mixed bag with them. We have a lot of people that are happy with them. Some people they're not so happy, but 1.9 would be the lowest. Like, I'm being very generous. Milton, if you're driving like 7 to 8 minutes from that location where I'm telling you have to book a house for 1.9. If you're driving 7 minutes north into Milton, bordering right on Oakville, you can get that same property for maybe 1.5. There is literally a $300,000 to $400,000 price difference between booking a detached house in Oakville versus booking a detached house in Milton. And I know a lot of people they have mixed reactions on Milton, but the pocket of Milton that I'm talking is not deep into Milton. It's, like I said, bordering Oakville, bordering Mississauga. You're at like Britannia and Thompson Road. So I see a lot of value there, you know, for a first-time home buyer that wants to get into the market and they don't want to go for resale and they can afford to go for pre-con. I like that pocket of Milton, right, you know, at Britannia and Thompson or James Snow Parkway, Louis St. Laurent. There's brand new schools there, brand new hospitals there, brand new retail plazas. It's a very nice community, refined people, you know, so I love that community. But, you know, if someone really wants to be in Oakville, for the first-time home buyers, it's a really expensive market. Most of the people that buy in Oakville, they've bought before. They're a little bit older, in their 40s or 50s. They're looking to move laterally or they're moving to kind of upsize. Sometimes we have older clients that are looking to downsize, maybe into a townhouse. Their kids have moved out of the house. They've done their university. So Oakville is a different community. It's a different beast. But of course, if you look at the statistics, it's ranked one of the best communities in Canada. Like Oakville, Ontario, when it comes to the schooling, when it comes to the quality of living, the infrastructure is really, really good. It's really close to the lake. So if you want to go in the summertime and take a stroll along Lakeshore, you have the direct transit to downtown Toronto. The Oakville GO is just right there. The Bronte GO is there. So there's a lot of positives going for that market. But I don't know if it's so much for the first-time home buyers unless they're looking to book a townhouse. Then, you know, you can get something a little bit cheaper.
Yes, Oakville is the area which we like and which we like to work, right?
Yes.
But Cash, tell us something under $1 million we can get in GTA.
In GTA, if someone is looking to book a property in the GTA and their budget is $1 million, are they open to condos or no?
Freehold. What if the freehold?
Freehold is really tough. Honestly, freehold in the GTA for $1 million is very, very tough. I would say
not even the townhouse.
It's very tough. Milton. Honestly, you can get in Milton a 2-story townhouse, 3 to 4 bedroom option in the 900s. You can get it in the 900s. Even a single car garage detached in Milton, you would have to come up to at least 1.2 million. Yeah, if you're on the east side towards Oshawa or Pickering, I think it's still above $1 million. It's hard. Yeah, you can get a condo townhouse. A condo townhouse would be like a stacked townhouse. But I think a freehold, like Milton is an option. Burlington, if someone is willing to go towards Burlington, we have townhouses there, pre-construction. They can get slightly under $1 million.
Under $1 million?
Slightly.
And what about the single car or double car garage under $1 million pre-con? Where can we get it?
It's not possible. Honestly, in the GTA, like we have clients that call us all the time and ask us, you know, my budget is $1 million. And we like to be sometimes just honest with them and tell them that, look, unfortunately, the way the market is here, you're not going to be able to get anything for a detached house or a townhouse in the GTA for $1 million. It's gonna be above.
Are there new communities where people can go and buy under $1 million?
Yes, of course. So $1 million if they're willing to go towards Caledonia. Caledonia is about 50 minutes from the GTA core. If they're willing to go to Brantford, I personally purchased a property in Brantford in 2020, and it was a great investment for me. It did go up in value. So Brantford is another option. It's about 50 minutes from the GTA core. Someone can purchase a property there under $1 million, detached. Niagara Falls, St. Catharines. You have properties in Niagara Falls. I know it's a bit further out, but if it's a first-time home buyer couple that has the option of doing hybrid, I mean, I have friends that commute 1 hour a day. So if they have to do it, some people, they have to wake up an hour early to make that commute. If they think they can do it, Niagara Falls, we can get a detached house for $850 right now.
Yes. It also depends. Are people have to travel? Do they really have to travel?
Yeah.
Or they can work from home, or they can stay anywhere in the outside GTA.
Well, based on your experience, because you've dealt with a lot of first-time home buyers, how is their scenario mostly? Is it like they're working a hybrid job, or do they normally have to physically commute somewhere? Maybe that question is not asked. I don't know, but based on your experience.
Sometimes people travel once in a week, so it's okay for them to travel from Niagara or maybe Brantford to downtown Toronto. I have clients, they travel once a week from Brantford to downtown Toronto and from Niagara to downtown Toronto.
Yeah.
They have hybrid jobs and they travel once a week or maybe twice a week.
Right.
So it's easy for those people.
Yeah.
But let's just say they can work from anywhere, right?
Right.
So they can move anywhere.
Right. They can move.
Niagara region is growing very, like, in the
Yeah.
future, it's going to be a very big city.
But is there a train system? Now, some of these questions I do know the answers to, but we want to keep a conversation going here, and we want to educate you guys. So this is the format we're doing. So I'll ask you: is there any commute from Niagara Falls to downtown Toronto? Like, is there a transit, like a train system that can take you?
There's Go Bus. People can always travel from the Go Bus.
Okay.
So
But there's no train right now.
no, not train right now.
So what would be the closest city to Niagara where there's a train that they can take?
Hamilton, St. Catharines.
St. Catharines?
St. Catharines, yeah.
Okay. And St. Catharines is about 15 minutes from Niagara Falls?
Yes.
Okay. So there are options there. Okay, that's good. Okay, so going back to the overall landscape, right, of the real estate. Obviously, Christmas is coming up next week. People have a lot of expenses with gifts and stuff like that they have to fork out on. But moving into the new year, January, what do you foresee for... January is typically a slow month, but let's just say in the next 2 to 3 months, where you see the landscape of real estate in the GTA going? Like, which direction do we see it going?
Of course, the market will pick up. The market will pick up slightly. It's not going to go like the COVID times.
Yeah.
The market will pick up, but for some reason, when it's buyer's market, it's buyer's market, and when it's seller's market, it's a seller's market.
Right.
I don't like that trend, right? There should be equilibrium in the market.
Yeah.
That there should be proper inventory in the market. And so right now, there are opportunities, but the buyers are scared for some reason. And we cannot blame them. The inflation is there, and affordability is an issue as well.
Yeah.
But this is my intake. What do you think about the market, and where do you see the market is going?
I think that we need help. Honestly, like I think the market is going to recover for sure in the coming months. I think we're going to see more volume. I think things are going to be more positive come spring or summer. But I think that, I don't want to get too political here, but I think that there has to be some new policies to manage this this landscape of the real estate, because it's just, even for the first-time home buyers, these rules are great, but it's becoming like the cost of living in Toronto. I feel like it's crazy. Like 1 week ago, I went to Walmart and bought a body wash, a deodorant, and a pack of gum, and it was like $30.
I don't keep the count.
Yeah. So I keep count for everything. Obviously, I can't write that off as an expense, but like the cost of living here is skyrocketed. And like real estate, I posted something on my Instagram 3 days ago. I think in the world right now, Toronto and Vancouver are like 4th and 5th highest in terms of like price per square foot. Like New York is 1, Hong Kong is up there, but it's like we're right at the top for the real estate. So it is really unaffordable for someone that's a first-time home buyer or someone that has money, has established business. Even they're feeling it right now. So I do think that, the red tape has to be eliminated from the government. There has to be more supply of inventory to manage that equilibrium of demand versus supply. And that'll give more momentum for people to get into the market and buy at the right prices, like the fair prices. But I think we're going to see some recovery in the new year. I'm hoping, and I think we are going to see it. But December and January are typically slower months. But we have people that are reaching out to us right now that know that it's slow, that know that builders are just kind of, their offices are like closed. But they're seeing, okay, maybe can we negotiate a bit and let's put in an offer $100K less. Let's see if the builder accepts it. So we are having those scenarios right now. So yeah, it's a buyer's market. It's definitely a buyer's market right now. So,
and that's what the builders are telling us. That there's a lot of red tapeism when it comes to the approval of the projects. It's taking them so long, and they have to pay a lot in the development charges and
so
taxes.
much. Yeah.
So that has to change.
Yeah, development charges, like for the condos, if you see like on CBC, I wanted to share a video actually, maybe I can find it, but they were showing how much that the city charges in development fees to the builders, right? And it's just a crazy amount. So like when the government is saying they want to make housing more affordable, but they're not really tackling the main issues, right? The main issues are like the taxes they're imposing on the builders and on us and the red tape, the development charges, which, a lot of those development charges they go into a reserve with the city, and they use those charges to better the city. But they have billions in their reserve, and it's not benefiting for people to get into the market to have to pay $15,000 to $20,000 in development fees when they're booking a condo. Like, those fees are not, when someone books a condo in pre-construction, they're not going to see those fees until closing. But when the closing date comes and they see their ledger from their lawyer and they see, $15,000 in development fees to the builder, then it hits them like, holy. So I don't really blame the builder. It's not really the builder. I mean, these development fees are coming to the builder, and then the builder is eating some of it, and some of it they're passing along to the purchasers. But like, the government has to eliminate some of this red tape, and they have to find a way to they have to find a way to make some policies where they're eliminating all these extra expenses that are going to the purchasers.
Yes, and as you mentioned, people get surprised when they see the statement of adjustment and they see the development charges. I believe this is the job of the realtors to guide them on the day one.
Yes.
That what they should expect at the time of closing.
Yeah.
And that's the reason you can always reach out to us. You have our numbers on the screen, and we can guide you that from the first day till the last day, each and every step and process. So you can take a better decision.
Yeah. Okay. No, it's true. Because even to be very transparent with realtors, right? They want to make deals, and sometimes I would say most realtors they're very diligent. For the most part, most realtors are diligent and they're honest with the client. But a lot of things that do go unnoticed are the closing costs, right? The closing costs, and also with the condos, a lot of people, they're not aware of the occupancy. They're not aware, because basically with the condos, like, you book a condo or you book a condo townhouse, and then let's say after 2 years it's ready for move-in, but it's not ready for closing, it's ready for occupancy. So what happens is that when the builder is building out a neighborhood of homes, say 50 homes, and they're condo townhouses, 50% of them have to be registered before they can start the closing. So people, like, what they do is they give the purchasers their occupancy dates. Now what happens is that the purchasers have to take occupancy of their unit, but they're essentially paying like a rent. Like, it's the interest portion of their mortgage plus the property tax plus the maintenance fees. And like, we've had scenarios, I've had my own situation where I booked a property in Brantford, a condo townhouse. I took occupancy in February, and I was paying occupancy fees up until November. And none of that goes towards your mortgage or your principal. It's coming out of your pocket. So even for the first time home buyers, that's not really mentioned a lot of the times by agents, that, on occupancy, you're going to have to write 6 post-dated checks to the builder or 12 post-dated checks to the builder. None of that is going to your mortgage. It's just coming out of your pocket, and that hurts. But if you're a first-time home buyer and you're moving for investors, that's tough. But if you're a first-time home buyer and you're moving into the property, then maybe psychologically it's not as bad because you're taking possession. But still, none of that is going towards your principal. None of it. So the beauty with booking a freehold is that your occupancy and your closing, they come at the same day. So you don't have to worry about writing 6 post-dated checks or 12 post-dated checks to the builder. And it's not the builder collecting. Like, sometimes the city is behind, right? The city, there's a lot of paperwork, so I'm not even blaming the builder. It's just a scenario where when you book a condo or you book a condo townhouse, you have to pay occupancy fees. And those fees rack up. Like, I have about $22,000 that came out of my pocket in the last 6 months that doesn't go towards my principal.
Yeah, and when it comes to the development charges, it varies from the builder to builder. Sometimes the builder eats up the whole amount, and sometimes some of the amount is being transferred to the end users. So there are so many builders, they can, and it varies from the builder to builder. And we as a realtor, we know that we can tell you on the day one that which builder they should go for.
Yeah, exactly. But typically, like, if you're booking a condo, the development charges on condos are much higher, from what I've seen at least.
Yes.
Like in Mississauga, if you're booking with M City a 1-bedroom, I think the development charges are $10,000 $10,000 to $12,000. Now, it doesn't mean that the developer is going to make you pay all that on closing. Like there are scenarios where the developer charges only $2,000 or $3,000, but they've capped it to 12. So they can, if they really need to charge $12,000 or $13,000 at closing, they have that right to do it. But I've seen with low rise, with freehold, that normally development charges range from $3,000 to $4,000 to $5,000, $6,000. So it's much lower. But the beauty of freehold, of course, it's a higher price point. But actually, I want you to explain why would you say that freehold is a better option than going for a condo, townhouse, or a condo? Those are cheaper options than freehold. But explain to me why you think freehold, or do you think freehold is a better option than that?
Freehold is a better option. I have seen people complaining about the maintenance charges.
Right.
And the prices are cheaper, but at the end of the day, they have to pay the maintenance fee. As you said before, it's not going in your principal.
Yeah.
But the plus point is they're cheaper, the prices are cheaper, and they don't have to do so many things like the snow removal,
right,
or the grass cutting and all these things. The maintenance is handled by the management or the builder.
Right.
So
normally it's a property management company that the builder hires.
Yeah. So there are plus points and the minus points. But what do you think about with the condo market right now? Where it's going?
We don't work that heavily in the condo market because we kind of deal with more of a clientele that's looking for the low rise. Doesn't mean that we don't know anything about condos. We know all the projects, we're up to date. We have done a lot of deals in the condo market, but we're kind of more geared towards low rise. The condo market has taken a very bad beating in the last year, and bad beating.
Is it going to be recovered?
I really hope so. I have family that bought condos and a few years back, and the appraisals didn't come in at the right value, and they weren't able to close. And a lot of especially in downtown Toronto, where the prices were so high. So I think I'm hopeful that that it's going to balance out. The demand and supply is going to balance out with the interest rates dropping, with these new mortgage rules coming into place. I'm hoping that it balances out, and I'm hoping that the condo market can pick up. What is your opinion? I mean, like Toronto has been decimated when it comes to the condo market.
It's going to take some time when it comes to the condo market.
Yeah.
Recovery is going to take time.
Yeah, for sure.
If we have external help by the government, and there are some new rules.
Yeah.
When immigration is another subject.
Yeah.
So it's going to take some time. That's what I think.
My question to you is that obviously next year, like the federal government has already ruled out that immigration numbers are going to come down, right? And you can see now that a lot of people that were here on temporary visas, they're not letting them stay in the country. They're telling them to go back. Right now, there's a foreign ban in place up until 2028. Now, this can always change, right? They can come out and say, you know what, we're going to remove this ban. But you have a foreign ban, so investors are not buying in Canada as much as they were before. You have they're sending back a lot of the students, and then immigration numbers are coming down. So what is your opinion with all these catalysts coming into the market? Obviously these are seen as negatives, right, for people coming and investing in Canada and buying real estate property. So how do you think that's going to affect the real estate landscape?
There are so many factors which are going to be, which can impact the real estate.
Yeah.
Income is the first thing.
Yeah.
With the inflation, the income is not rising. Right. So that's the reason affordability is an issue. Again, there is a huge gap in demand. The demand is there.
Yeah.
Affordability is an issue.
Yeah.
So I think it might take some time to recover all these things, and situation is balanced out.
Yeah.
So it's gonna take time, I believe so.
Okay.
It's gonna take some time.
Yeah.
But not being hopeless, situation will change for the good. For the good, yeah.
I hope, because you're leaving to New York next week. So you're leaving Canada. I hope you're not leaving for other external reasons. Why are you going to New York?
Just a family thing.
Family
Family
thing.
thing. Yes.
Manhattan, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
So if you have any questions, you can always call us, and our numbers are there. And if you're looking to buy a home or have any or you want to make decisions regarding the investment, you can always reach out to us, and we can guide you in one-to-one and in more detail.
Yeah, and I mean, we want to have people actually call in to the stream. Like, that would be awesome if people are sending messages through our, through the chats. That's great. But if anyone wants to eventually call in, our numbers are here. Just don't prank call us, please. But anything in regards to real estate, we would love to put you on the speakerphone, hear what your questions are, and we can answer them on the spot. So we want to get more engagement. This is just our second stream. We started really late. We wanted to start at 7 o'clock today, and we didn't kick off until 7:30 with some technical difficulties. So I think over time we'll smoothen it out, and we want to get into a rhythm where we're starting on time. We're starting at 7 sharp, and finishing within 45 minutes to 50 minutes. If we have people that are engaging with us and asking us questions and all that, we can stay here for 2-3 hours, but we don't want to bore people too much as well. And we don't want to talk about everything and overwhelm people in one stream. So I think next week, I wanted to talk about Dubai real estate, but I think, we might actually push that for another week in the coming month. We might just touch upon the current topics that we're touching upon, and go a little bit more in depth on, for the first-time home buyers. And we'll touch upon maybe also some good investment opportunities as well for people that are looking to get into the market and purchase something, with good deals. Maybe we'll touch upon more of that as well next week. And I think we'll
so this is our second podcast, and we are committed to make it better with the time. We'll get better. Our content will get better, and we will invite some other people into the podcast, like people who have more knowledge on the economy, and they can guide people better. Or maybe we can invite some accountants, so for the better planning, for the better tax planning, or FHAs.
Yep.
So we can discuss that on later on. So we are committed to make this podcast one stop stop for everything, all the real estate knowledge. And you can always text us and email us if you have any question you want to ask, or any topic you want us to discuss. Okay, guys.
Amazing. Yeah. You know what? We didn't even talk about that, but for the first-time home buyers, the RSP Home Buyer Saving Plan, like Austin mentioned, the FHSA. Yeah, these are questions that we have some knowledge on, but it would be great to have an accountant or someone on the stream and talk about those things for the first-time home buyers as well, because honestly, saving every penny helps. The way our market is, the way the prices are, everything makes a difference. So that's a good topic. Maybe we can touch upon that. What incentives are there? Other incentives for the first-time home buyers. We didn't touch upon as well, the rebates. So when you're a first-time home buyer, if you're purchasing a brand new pre-construction or a resale, there are some rebates that they get on the closing date, and maybe we can touch more upon that in the next stream as well.
Yeah.
And any topics you guys have, just feel free to let us know. We'd love to talk about anything that people want, what's in demand, what topics people want us to talk about. Like I said, we also work in Dubai. Asim works a little bit in the US, so we can touch upon Dubai and New York and Florida. These 3 markets, we will discuss them in the coming weeks. But I think we'll cut it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Awesome. Enjoy the weekend, guys, and we'll see you most likely next Friday.